Okay, we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our weekly live. Laura?
Yeah. Hello, everybody. Sorry, shifting from another screen. Welcome today. And today is an episode that we are going to talk about real estate and also about mindset. It's kind of going into both directions here. Um, we're going to address the elephant in the room here, which obviously what happened this week is the election. And it has been stressful for everybody, right? No matter who you were after, as far as elections. And the thing is, the first thing that I want to say is when it comes to real estate investing, real estate investing is probably the most adaptable business out there. Okay, because it adapts, and this is what real estate investors need to realize is different than any other type of business. It's different from the regular type of real estate, where you become an agent, for example. Because when you go into becoming an agent and listing houses and so forth, it's very much tied to a lot of factors. Where real estate investing is always going to work well because it adapts to what is going on out there, right? And it also is tied to one of the basic needs of humanity, which is shelter. There are things that are non-negotiable, right? Shelter, food, transportation. Those are things that people really need. So as a real estate investors, you are looking out there to see what is the need right now. What are people doing? What is going on? Like when 2007 happened with the housing recession and a lot of people losing their homes, with the foreclosures, a lot of people going into loan modifications and short sales. If you were an investor, which I was at that time, then you would have adapted. And the people that recognized where the need was and what they needed to do, they made a ton of money as investors. You
Mhm.
actually make more money in time of changes than anywhere else in history. I love the Warren Buffett quote. He says, "You should be greedy when everybody's fearful, and be greedy and be fearful when everybody's greedy." And so, like a year, 2 years ago, when interest rates were good, properties didn't stay on the market at all. You had multiple offers and stuff like that. Honestly, that was tougher to be an investor. Everybody wanted to go out there and buy real estate, right, and be an investor. But this is the time. This is the time of changes. This is the time that you need to go out there and carve your place in the market. Okay. Another quote, I love quotes. I have some quotes that I live by. Another quote that I love, it says, when the wind changes, adjust your sails, right? And so this is what you need to do now is adjust your sails. So what are you going to do moving forward? What are you going to do in time of changes? What are you going to do no matter what happens out in the world? The first thing is you need to keep up your antennas and see what is the need right now. Okay.
Mhm.
What is the need right now? I remember we went to an event a couple of years ago, and Dean Graziosi was there on stage, and he was actually, he had been a real estate mentor since the 90s, and he was talking a lot about doing fix and flips and rentals. I remember reading his books back in the 90s. And then he was standing on stage and he said, when 2007 happened, he started to realize about the distress situation that was out there, what was going on, and he switched to wholesaling. He wasn't teaching about wholesaling before that, mind you. I mean, I bought his books back in the 90s. I remember reading a lot of different strategies, but not specifically with wholesaling. And he said, when you go into time of changes, wholesaling is one of those strategies that are easier to adapt. Because what is wholesaling, for example? Wholesaling is about, taking inventory out there from people that are losing their home, creating a need, creating a win-win situation, and putting these properties back in circulation and selling them either to rehabbers who can go in and fix up the property, or landlords who go in and get this property for rent or do the burn method and all of that. So, as a wholesaler, you're finding inventory and bringing it up there so that you can put it back in circulation. So Dean Graziosi recognized that, and that's when he went also into the story. One of my little favorite stories that he shared is that, if Titanic is sinking, would you go out there and have sold lifeboats? If you weren't out there and sold lifeboats when Titanic was sinking, you would have become a millionaire, richer than the people that were on the Titanic. They were some of the richest people in the world. But if you went out there and start selling the next cruise ticket to cross the Atlantic, probably now wouldn't have done too well, right? So he recognized that, and that's when he went into wholesaling. And he said that wholesaling is one of the strategies that are easier to adapt, because you're basically just exchanging properties, creating supply and demand, giving properties that are sitting there in a distressed situation, either because the seller is distressed or the property is distressed, and let somebody else take over so they can put the properties back on the market. So, to be able to diversify your strategies and recognize what the need is huge. And by the way, we have all this in the PDF. Well, we kind of have the outlines of this in the PDF that we share with you at the beginning of the week. So for some reason, if you have not been able to get the PDF, please comment, and one of our team will reach out to you and get you the PDF. Okay. Now, one of the other thing is about real estate. Real estate is one also those businesses where people tend to be very emotional about it. You get attached to the property, you get attached to the house, you like the area, there's something there. Especially as women, we tend to do that more. But instead, you need to think more strategically. It's a commodity. Is not as important as you think it is, right? Yes, there are attachments, there are feelings, but the thing is a commodity. So you need to make, you need to make calculated adjustments, calculated and thought process, or what is this real estate going to do for you? Okay, are you at the time that you're better sell or rent? Are you at the time that you should instead getting into wholesaling as an investor instead of a landlord or a fix and flipper, right? What is your economic status? What is your economic situation right now? So don't react emotionally, but be more strategic about it. Okay. So now I'm going to let Liz jump in here, because that's her mindset. So it says mindset here in the PDF that we share with you is your most powerful tool. Okay. So Elizabeth, talk about mindset, abundance, scarcity, all of that.
Yeah. So when elections come, and then elections come to fruition of whoever's the next president, you immediately see a lot of fear. You see, and this isn't just like fear of who got voted, but fear of how it's going to affect the economy. And leading up to this election, there was even more fear, because they thought that real estate was going to shift in a negative way. Should they be getting in? Should they be getting out? I heard all of this. Here's the thing. We put it in the title. You will always win. Laura has given you strategic examples here. Everyone needs a home. It is one of the basic principles of needs that you have, not a want, but a need, right? So everyone needs a home, and there are always opportunities to do this. You will have to shift. You will have to adjust. And Laura and I are here live every Thursday, 12 p.m. Eastern, to show you just how to do that now that, President Trump was elected. Okay. So what's going to happen is we're going to help you shift, but you have to look for opportunities. You have to look for opportunities in this, even if it's challenging. Every time a president comes in, policies shift, things change, and you have to adapt. So I want you to remember that. Remain positive, okay? Remain strategic here. And remember that what happens on the outside is an indication of what's going on internally. meaning that your thoughts really do create your reality. Okay. So I want you to remember that and believe that. And I know I see it on my timeline. A lot of you are terrified right now. It's like half and half on my timeline, right? A lot because I'm friends with everyone because of the company. And a lot of you are terrified. And for those of you that are terrified, I just want you to remember to trust the process. You know, history has been proven that elections will shift things, policies, and all of that. But if you're smart about this as an investor, you can get yourself ahead. And that is something that no one can take away from you but you. So I really want you guys to remember that. And that when things like this shift for both sides, no matter happy or sad, scared or what have you, angry or excited, you know, no matter what sides, connect to your community and move forward. Because regardless of what you think, we are the United States of America. We have to unite. And that's why RAIW is a community of women investors. So I really want you guys to push forward as much as you can and understand that this change can still mean that you as an investor will win. And that no matter who is elected, as an investor, you will always win if you stay adaptable, you stay savvy, and you stay ahead of what's going on. So make sure that you're studying policies. Make sure you're studying taxes and things that are shifting. Make sure that you're studying everything that's going to come new with this new way, okay, with the new presidency, because then you can be ahead of it and you can get help. And of course, Laura and I, like I said, we're going to always help you. All right, Laura?
Yeah, and I want to say this from somebody that, I came from another country, so I'm an immigrant, and I became a United States citizen many years ago. Um, but when you travel around the world, they look up to United States. They look up to this as a country who is resilient, who is reinvents himself. Okay, they model everything into about this country, and so that's the thing that you do. So they believe that anybody lives here is resilient. They go out there and do the best they can. They go out there and are fighters in their own right for the lifestyle you want, the American dream, right? That's the American dream. And real estate investing is the best tools to create that American dream. So you owe it to yourself to really say, okay, in light of it all, nothing is going to face me, nothing is going to stop me. I'm not going to let other people dictate how I want to live my life and how I want to reach my dreams, right? Because at the end of the day, you can only control the controllable. You can only control how you react to the situations around you. You can't control what other people say or do, or policymakers and all of that. You can't control that regardless of who is there. But you can control how you're going to adapt, how you're going to react to it, what you're going to do about it. And that's something that nobody can take away from you. So remember that. Okay. So now moving forward with the new changes, it's going to be a minute here. Take a breath. Now keep doing what you're doing. Anytime there is a change in the system, there is kind of a second wind, I would say, from the financial markets and so forth, because I know the stock market went up yesterday and other things happening, because obviously people are kind of saying, okay, what is the change now? But there is kind of a second wind coming. So with that said, I wouldn't do anything drastic right now as far as changes, but I would keep my antennas up and I would just really pay attention around me, what is going on, where the opportunities are going to come in the next few months. And then shifting to those opportunities. Don't be stubborn. I love another quote that says, you can change. You're not a tree. You can move. You can do something about it. So pay attention what's going out there. Spot the opportunities, create the opportunities. You can control yourself, how you react to this situation. You're not a tree, so you can move. You can move what your goals are and aspirations, or also geographically if you want to. Nothing stops you from doing that, okay? and be around like-minded people, but positive like-minded people, because you're always going to have people that are going to see the glass half empty. You decide to see it half full. Okay, no matter what, this is what I'm doing. This, I'm going to be around like-minded people that are positive, that are looking for changes, that are looking to move forward, not that are going to sulk in whatever despair, because those are the people that there is nothing they can do about it. You have to make the best of what's out there and move forward, and that's it. And like I said, the rest of the world looks up to us, and there's no country that's perfect, guys. No country, trust me. I come from Italy, and the corruption, the mafia, the if you're poor, you're poor. If you're rich, you're rich. And to go from poor to rich, you just have to know the right people and pay them from under the table. The cost of living there is being so high, as long as I can remember, and the salaries are so low, people can't afford to live. So there is a lot there too, in Italy and other countries as well. You go to North Europe, beautiful, but God, their taxes are over 50% of their income, and they're living these very small apartments or houses. So there is no perfect country out there. But the thing is, everybody chooses how they're going to live their life. They're not going to let anything else dictate them. They're going to take charge of it, and they're going to control what they can control. And so I want you to do the same. And we only have so much time on this earth. We can't wait for something has to happen 4 years from now or whatever. The time is now. Go out there and adjust your sails. The wind is changing, and be ready for it. That's all.
Definitely. So we just wanted to give some advice, because talking with students and obviously seeing everything going on, we timed this so that we could talk, but luckily the live was after the election. So we adjusted a lot of what we were going to say based on who was voted in, and then the feedback from what we were seeing from there. But the bottom line is that no matter who you are, you will be okay. And I see a lot of people that's like, that's easy for you to say, right? But I have a lot of friends of other races. I have a lot of friends that I'm very close with, from low economy to high. And we've been talking, and they have that mindset as well. Okay. They have the same mindset that they will be okay. And there are people that's also like Laura and I who will make sure and ensure that our community is okay, right? Our REIW community. So just wanted to throw that out there as well. Now, moving into something exciting.
I want to answer a very quick comment I'm seeing from Sarah. And she said, think a Republican president would be better for REIs and landlords. I've been in real estate for 4 decades. I've been successful through Republicans. I've been successful for Democrats. Okay. So at the end of the day, it never made a difference to me. So that's what I want you to guys think about. It doesn't matter who is out there. I've been successful regardless.
She really has. She really has. We've been through it all.
So, I started in 87, so I started under the Reagan era. Then there was George Bush. There was Clinton. There was George W. Bush. There was Barack Obama. There was Trump. Then we went Biden. Then, we're going to go Trump again. So I've been through all of these people, and I've been all successful. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, guys. At the end of the day, it never made a difference. I think the media back then wasn't really as much now. Yeah, they talked about elections during election time, but then again, we would move on. There was no social media or anything else to rile people up. So we did what you had to do and adjusted, and I've always been successful. So, there's nothing to do with it at the end of the day. Nothing to do with it.
All right, so moving into something exciting and taking control of your life. We have a wholesaling workshop coming up on this Tuesday. If you're feeling, one of the things I told the students the other day, or during the monthly public call we did on Tuesday, was in order to get out of the fear, you need to start working on things that is taking control. What I mean is, it's time to take control. If you are feeling this anxiety and this fear, it's because you feel there's a lack of control. But you are in, despite what you feel, one of the best countries in the world. Like Laura's from Italy. I have friends from other places. This is still the best country in the world. And so take control, take over what you can do. And so on Tuesday, we're hosting a wholesaling workshop. This is for anyone that wants to get into wholesaling real estate and be able to move forward and make some money and take control of their own life. So Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, my team is going to put the link into the chat here, and we are going to be talking all things wholesaling, how to do it virtually so you can do it from the comforts of your own home or while you're traveling or whatever your goals are for. We'll break down the 3 pillars of the business and how to build systems. And then we will also be talking about how to find motivated seller leads, how to find cash buyers who are ready to buy, and how to analyze deals and all of that as well. So it's going to be great. Should we look at flooded homes in Florida for wholesaling? I think enough time has passed where I feel like integrity-wise, you're fine to start reaching out. Yes. From someone that's been through a hurricane where my whole town got decimated, I had told my students to give it a couple weeks, but now time has passed. You can start reaching out. Yes. Yes, it's important to have the discussion to help people move on. Yeah, and that's why we did this live now. This is why, because you need to know there are people that back you up no matter what. And you need to know that there's a community you can go to where you're fine to invest. You're still able to move forward under what's going on and be able to take advantage of it as well, of what's going on. That's great. Auctions are great. Okay. So let's go into Raffle. So team, if you could send me Raffle winner, how that happens. Thank you, Wendy. How that happens is you start commenting and then my team will grab, because we're on several social media platforms, they will grab your names and put it in this like spinning wheel, and then they'll send me the winner. So while they do that, I'm going to pull the election here. Oh, geez. The picture here. Let's see if I can find a way to make this work. There we go. And so we have all kinds of fun stuff here. I'm just looking for the breakdown of what's included. There we go. So it's a 2025 planner, pen set, desk decor, and holiday themed bookmarks. So all you have to do to claim this is just email in once we call your name to questions@realestateinvestingwomen.com, and we will get it shipped out to you as soon as possible. Yeah, I just want to do something fun. Something fun, something where you can take control, right? Pens, planners, journaling, all kinds.
Too. This is so cute.
I know, right? This is why I'm a pack rat, because I love what
this is great.
I love what we pick for everyone else, and then I end up having it.
I know. I come to your house after this. I want to look at it, and then I can get one. So.
All right, so just waiting on my team to send me the name. Give me a second. Any questions while we wait for that? Any questions? See, I saw a couple, but we answered those. I've been before to your wholesaling, but I'm going to go again. Yes, and what is great is we have things coming up that will shift. So all of these workshops, while we have like a general guideline of what we follow, Laura and I actively invest. I know that seems crazy because apparently some don't, and we actually got confirmation if you don't. But anyway, so Laura and I actively invest, and so we know exactly what's happening before it happens. Laura has that lovely crystal ball of hers and things like that. So you as well get to learn as things shift. So right now we're re-recording our entire wholesaling training in the back end for our students. Yep. And it shifts and we go back all the time and all of that. Okay. So our winner is Sarah Sellers. Wendy, I'm sorry, but it was Sarah Sellers. Sarah, you are the winner of this week. It's okay, Wendy. You'll get next week. Okay. All right. So Sarah, you are the winner. You can just email into questions@realestateinvestingwomen.com. Yep. Well, there you go. So you said, I have to go on full disability because of my heart. I'm sorry to hear about that. So you can do this virtually. That's one of the benefits of this. I've had people do this who are wheelchair bound, homebound, bed rest bound, all kinds of stuff. You can do this from anywhere. I was sick with COVID, still ran, and I got like the worst version of COVID the first time around, where I was basically almost unconscious for 2 weeks. It was pretty insane. I was so sick, not unconscious, but I might as well have been. I told Laura I was turning into a bed because I couldn't stand. So I get that. Okay. So I'm praying for you. I hope everything's good. All right. Laura, anything else you want to say before we jump off? I would love to know, though, real quick, what were some takeaways from today? What spoke to you that we talked about and all of that, too? Laura, anything you want to say?
I'm sorry?
Anything you want to say to close out?
Yeah, no, I want to hear what the takeaways are. And I hope I gave you some reassurance and peace of mind to a lot of you. Like I said, I've been in it for so many presidents, Republicans and Democrats, didn't make a difference whatsoever, okay, about my success. Because honestly, I think in the beginning, the first 10, 15 years, went from Republicans to Bill Clinton and stuff. I didn't know any better anyway. So I was successful regardless. And then as I became aware, I also became aware that it wasn't really making a difference. So it doesn't matter, guys. You'll be fine. You will totally be fine.
Here, I'm going to start pulling up what some of them are saying. So everyone will always need a place to live. Oh, here, let me move you up, Laura, so you're not like getting hidden by it. I really appreciate Laura talking about REI through multiple administrations and her wisdom about that. Yeah. Let's see. Don't let things slow you down. Adjust our sales and find where the needs are. We have real estate never dies regardless of politics. Correct. Community matter and surround yourself with like-minded folks. I say like-minded, but like where you want to be like-minded is what Laura and I mean. Like, so if you want to be a successful investor, you're going to surround yourself with successful investors, things like that, people that can help you get you to where you want to go, right? And people that make you feel good too. We keep moving forward no matter what, and we can only control what we can control and focus on what we can control. Exactly. Good feedback. Okay. All right. So we are super excited. I hope we get to see you Tuesday. I'm sure there will be some shifts in what we normally say then anyway. And then I definitely know there's going to be shifts as we see more of the new policies coming in into focus so that we can help you guys stay ahead and not have to figure it all out. That's the point of Laura and I. We take out the guesswork. So really excited about that. Thank you all for being on today, and we'll see you next week.
Okay. Take care, everybody.